Alright guys, welcome to LINC. Really excited to have you all here today to launch our #1 first cohort for the pilot program. UCSD's first biomedical incubator, learn, innovate, network, and collaborate. Really excited to have you guys here and see what you guys can come up with during the course of this 5-6 month program. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting. We're going to be having you guys build stuff. So it's going to be a really interesting experience, something that UCSD does not offer yet. And shortly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Garrett actually come on the screen. He's not here today physically, but he's going to give you guys an introduction to LINC and the biodesign curriculum that he's developing. And then after that, he's going to hand it off to Marty. Marty's going to give you an awesome talk about his experiences. And then afterwards, we'll go over to Rock Bottom, have a little mixer there, some appetizers, and so on and so forth to get acquainted. Just wanted to give you guys some more details as far as entry into LINC program. We had almost 30 applications, which was more than we expected, to be honest, and all very strong candidates, very competitive, and you guys were obviously the cream of the crop. We selected 10, 6 here now. We're waiting a few more to show up. We have people from the clinical background, we have people from engineering background, business background, and some other specialties as well. So it should be really good, interesting, diverse group. I'm really excited to get this going. So I wanted to introduce the team one more time for those of you who did not get to make it to an info session. Some of the team was at the 2 info sessions. My name is Gaurav Agrawal. I'm the vice president and one of the co-founders of LINC. Many of you have talked to Kevin Jabal. He is the president, couldn't be here today. But he's going to be one of the clinical students participating in the program as well. We also have Nick Forsh, Vish Ramesh, Gaurav Kanar, and Neil Pajwani. Our faculty champion, Dr. Norbash, he's the chair of radiology. He's really awesome. He has a very innovative and entrepreneurial mindset, and he's been super helpful in setting up this whole program. And of course, Dr. Smith, Garrett Smith, who we'll be hearing from shortly. Just so you guys know, LINC is completely 100% designed by the students, for the students. So we really want to see you guys succeed. We are all graduate students, and you are all graduate or undergraduate students as well. So we want to see you guys to succeed. If there's something that you guys need during the course of the program to help you excel, to take it to the next level that we're not able to give you, please give us feedback. We want to do everything we can to help you out. So please be sure, let us know if there's something you guys really need and that we're lacking, and we'll do our 100% best to get that to you. Small couple of details before I get Garrett on the line. Class is set for every Tuesday and Thursday in this room, unless otherwise noted in an email, from 6 to 8 p.m., pretty much from now until June, early June. And the exact syllabus will be given to you guys before Thursday's class. So please plan on that, and I'm sure that Kevin's already talked to you all about it, but there is some time commitment involved in this program. So please, if there's any reservations or doubts that you can commit to this program, let us know ahead of time so that we can plan accordingly. The reason is that you're not going to be working just with yourselves, but you're going to have a team of 5 of you. So if one of you is not able to pull your own weight, then your whole team is not going to be happy about that. Okay, so you got to think about the team in the situation. All right, and I'm going to introduce Garrett. Garrett Smith. He's a serial medtech entrepreneur. He's co-founded 5 companies. Oculeave is his #1 hit. It treats dry eyes and with neurostimulation. He sold it to Allergan, one of the biggest pharma companies headquartered in Irvine, for $125 million. So he's also started other companies, Ocular Dynamics, Quantified Scan, Naseo, and Breathe Capital. He's a published scientist and co-author on a dozen patents. He has a PhD from here, UCSD Bioengineering, and he completed the actual biodesign fellowship program at Stanford. So he has done this program, and he has clearly succeeded through this whole curriculum, this process. There's nobody better to teach you guys about the program. We're super excited to have Garrett on board, and he's super excited to be here with us too. So with that, let's get Garrett on the line.
Hey everybody.
Garrett. We have a few people still showing up. Ron just left to go grab another teammate, another LINC member. Let me just get you full screen. All right, and the floor is yours, Garrett.
Okay, well, Hello, everyone. I apologize, first of all, that I couldn't be there in person. This is a very important class to me as well as the team, and especially the first class. The only reason I'm missing it is there's a huge healthcare conference. If you can't hear it, it's like a party over here, it sounds like, but it's called the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, and it's kind of where a lot of the CEOs of major biomedical companies, they all come together to San Francisco every year, as well as investors, startups, etc. So who knows, maybe your teams will be here next year if you end up moving forward with an idea that you have. But again, my apologies for not being there in person. I will be spending more time on Thursday with you over Skype. But it will be more of a specific format to where we can go over the course syllabus. We'll go over a specific lecture that I put together, and we'll also have some time for some videos and discussions. And then the following week, so next week, then I'll be in town for both Tuesday and Thursday, so we'll get to meet and work together in person, which I'm very much looking forward to. Just to kick things off, I want to say a few words. I'm not going to take too much of your time because Martin Gross is there and he's an excellent speaker, so I don't want to stand too long in the way. But I really want to start out by thanking each of you in the room. You're taking a big risk, actually, to do this class, this program. You're not taking it for credit, which that means you must be really interested in doing this type of program in entrepreneurship and innovation. And in fact, we were very, very impressed with your bios and your application. So each of you should be very proud of yourself to be in this room. And we're also very excited to mentor you and train you because we think that you have what it takes to learn more about entrepreneurship. So congratulations, and already thanks for your time for joining us. I also want to thank the graduate team that has really spearheaded this whole program. So this is such a unique program, which I'll get into in a second, but especially because it is led by graduate students, along with me being your course moderator. So I just want to say I think they've done an excellent job, and without them, we wouldn't have this fantastic course. So a few reasons why this course is unique. So LINC is really the only course at UCSD, and I'm calling it a course even though it's not for credit, right? But it is the only program that's based out of the clinical system, out of the medical school, such that we can solve real problems affecting the clinic. And I really think that's important because with LINC, we focus on clinical needs, we focus on problems. We don't necessarily focus on, I have an idea to have a new drug treatment for cancer, okay? That's great that you may have that idea, but the whole problem that I've seen repeatedly as a UCSD bioengineering alum and as an entrepreneur is people go out there with this great idea and they realize, well, there's not a market for it and there's actually not even a patient need for it. And I can't tell you how many times that happens with successful entrepreneurs as well as young entrepreneurs such as yourself. So we are going to teach a method known as the biodesign process. It came out of Stanford, and I apologize, I didn't hear the talk in the beginning, so I don't know how much of it was covered. But basically, in fact, it's a process that you will learn through this program, and you will be able to use literally for the rest of your lives to apply to any type of innovation. It basically starts out with, it's very simple, there's 3 steps to it. The first is you identify a new problem. So it needs to be an unmet clinical need. And also it needs to have market potential, right? Because even if you have a great need, if you don't have anyone that will pay for it, it won't get off the ground. The second is you will invent. You will spend time learning how to actually invent from a pragmatic, from a routine perspective. Companies like IDEO and other design companies, you'll learn unique ways of how you can invent. And then you also need to be able to know how you invent for which need that you're working on and how you pick the right invention to move forward on. The third step is you implement. So you're going to actually implement a business scenario based on this need and based on this concept. that we'd like to see it be potentially a viable opportunity to take this to market. So that's going to be basically the three foundations of the course: identify an unmet need, invent, and implement. Just notice how it's not invent first, which is what many professors will do, or that's just kind of how it goes in academia. We identify the unmet clinical need and validate it before we move on into a business. Another reason this course is unique is that it's really about the real world. Hopefully this will come across. I think you heard about my background. I've experienced a number of startups, ups and downs, and I have a lot of friends and a network that have experienced a lot of different things, like Martin as well. And I don't want to filter anything. I want to tell you exactly how it is and what you can do to set yourself up in the best way possible for success. And this course will help you do it. And that's my goal, that you will learn new things. They may make you uncomfortable when you're learning them, but they may save you some headache down the line. And also, the last thing why this course is so unique is that it really is an experiment. It's really something that we're equity partners in this all together. So it's not just my class or the graduate team's class. It's actually all of our class, in that we each have to contribute. We each have to work in a team, work through problems, so that we can actually get to a solution or an opportunity that we may or may want to pursue at the end. But the point is, we all have to work together, and we all have to depend on each other. It's not just by any means a lecture. It's all about being interactive. And again, I know this is now. I'll get into more details on the next lecture. Let me just share real briefly why I'm doing this class. So, I could be doing a number of things, just as you could be doing a number of things. And really, I was a former grad student, as I mentioned. I graduated with my PhD in bioengineering in 2011. It's in David Goff's lab. He's part of bioengineering. But I really didn't get to learn how to start companies like I wanted to at UCSD. And I did end up going to this Stanford biodesign program that I'm going to ask you all to Google and to look into, which will be the foundation of this course. And I learned this innovation process that I'm going to teach you. And so I'm so passionate about that this process works, that you can learn it, and you can apply it to so many different parts of your life, that I'm committing to help moderate this course and be a main component of walking you kind of down this process. And I also, as I mentioned, I've cut my teeth on a number of startup companies. So as we go through things, not only academically, but I'll do my best to help advise you, and also to help other colleagues of mine advise you as well. You may be thinking, well, what does an average course look like? This may seem a little nebulous, but basically, it's going to be following the Stanford Biodesign textbook. So I would like all of you to jot down right now, either an email reminder or text message or whatever you want to do, or old paper and pencil, to buy the Stanford Biodesign textbook. I know it's on eBay. You may be able to get a used copy. That's going to be the foundation of the books of the class. So it will require some reading during the week. I would say, an hour or two of reading during the week when we're not in the course. It's also going to be a mixture of lectures, guest speakers, videos, and discussions. So it's going to be a mix of learning new theories to apply to identifying unmet clinical needs. Then it's going to be talking with different clinicians. It's going to be sharing your findings to the whole group. It's going to be doing some light presenting to the group. And also any other discussions or things that we need to talk about at that time. It's really going to be, in terms of the actual program itself, it's going to be a time to connect with your team in greater detail, and also to plan out your schedule. So, when is the best time to meet during the week? What's coming up? Because I know that you all have a busy schedule as well. So how will this integrate in, and how can you make sure that you continue moving things forward? And then in terms of the expectations for the course, it's really to attend each class. I know it's I know it's busy, but we really do need you to attend every class because there's going to be a lot of learning that happens every single week. We have a very regimented but fun schedule. And also to do all the assignments, which I'll get into that, what they are, next section. Also, our expectation is that by the end of the year, each team can have kind of a well-vetted project that they may want to pursue, if they would like to pursue something as a startup company or not. By the end of the year, in the 6-month process, that's what we would like to see. There's no requirement that you need to start a company. It's just that you understand the steps that are needed to start a company through going through this biodesign process and this biodesign project. And I also mentioned that it's important for all of you to be respectful of each other, of your fellow teammates, because each of you has a unique way of looking at things for innovation. And you know what? That's what's going to be the most exciting thing is a clinician or a business student or an engineer or someone else that's harder to classify. Everyone has a different way of looking at it. And that's when real innovation happens. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be smooth and maybe frustrating because it's harder to communicate your point at times. But I think this is really one of the crux of the programs. Crux of the program is to be able to work together in a group and learn together in a better sense of what that means. And also we expect, again, being respectful, and also we will create kind of a safe environment, if you will, to learn, to take chances, to take risks. Because in the end, what I want to teach you is a process that also allows you to take risks. It allows you to be okay with taking a risk that may happen in a failure. And we kind of had a saying that I like to use, and it may not make sense now, but maybe it'll make sense further in the year. This whole idea of fail fast, fail often. So if you're not failing, you're not probably taking enough risk. And the best analogy I can give is I just learned how to ski like the other day, and I was doing okay. I wasn't falling too much, but I realized that okay, I need to push myself harder so that if I get to fall, then I know I'm actually taking enough of a risk. And then I fell again and again and again. But it's just this whole idea of maybe you got to start out on the bunny slope, which is a safe environment to create more failure. So if that analogy makes any sense, hopefully we can kind of create this type of environment for you guys to take the risk. But the environments, we all have to create this environment, and we all have to take the risk. And I think, though, it's kind of a self-selecting criteria. Those of you in the audience, you seem very motivated, you seem very interested. And I just hope that it stays this way, because I believe there's great potential for each of you to develop your entrepreneurial self, your entrepreneurial potential, and potentially even license or invent something down the line. So with that said, I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I'm gonna, I think, end on the assignments that I have here for the week. I already mentioned one, and that's to buy the biodesign textbook. Please have that by a week from now, if possible, and bring it to next week's class. The second is, please also write this down. I'd like you to spend 1 hour, just 1 hour, of your time on the Stanford Biodesign website. So if you Google Stanford Biodesign, there's a whole host of information that's going to come up about this kind of needs process that I've been telling you about, identify, invent, implement. But also there's going to be, other videos, other articles on a whole variety of topics. So what I want you to do is, I don't care what you look at, I just want you to look at something that interests you. And I want you to be prepared to just share a little bit about it actually on on Thursday, which is the next class period. I'd like you to be prepared to share something that excited you or something that interests you about this Stanford Biodesign website, and which is really the program that we're doing. And And also, just the last follow-up on that question is I want you to think of the number one reason that you want to get out of this course that will keep you engaged for the next 6 months. So what is the number one reason that you want out of this course that will keep you engaged? And I think that's a very important question for each and every one of us. So one, buy the biodesign textbook, spend an hour on the biodesign what they're thinking about what you, and be prepared just to share something very quickly, but what drew your attention, and also what's that one that'll keep engaged, excited about what we're doing. So I know that was a lot of information in a short period of time, but I wanted to at least give you a snapshot of how things are going to be, I think, with the program. And I'm very excited to spend time with you next week in depth, and we can go over more questions in this type of format, and we'll go over some of the reasons why you're excited to be around here too. And I know that you have the happy hour coming up, so this will also be a good time to chat about, what brought you into the room to do this. So without any further ado, I don't know if there are any specific questions right now.
No questions, Garrett.
Is anyone brave enough to ask a question, or are we all good? Just say you're all good like this if you're all good, or I'm going to pick on someone, okay? So with no further ado, I am now going to transition things to our guest speaker, who we're very fortunate to have. Mr. Martin Gross is an experienced entrepreneur, well-respected in the he founded Clarify Medical funny how he says this because it hit me that I got. He founded Clarify Medical as a frustrated patient after green with UVB lights at his kitchen table. So he went from identifying the problem to invention in one sentence there. Previously, Mark received his MBA from Rady School of Management at UCSD. While at Rady, he spun out a corporate subsidiary of the Marketplace website that led to its successful acquisition. As founder of Clarify, Martin recruited David Hale as chairman and Jim Sweeney as CEO. If you don't know who they are, they're some of the most respected serial entrepreneurs in San Diego. They founded some of the earliest biotech companies that exist, period. Martin also serves on the board of DT Era, using technology to alleviate symptoms of Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as serving on the board of San Diego Cultural Arts Alliance, promoting graffiti intervention and education to create murals throughout San Diego. Martin has received the Biocom Life Science Catalyst Award and was listed on our City San Diego Most Influential Innovators list 2016. So why don't we go ahead and clap for our guest speaker, Martin Gross.
All right, thank you, Garrett.